I swear, it's like you can't give niggas new things to save their lives. You just can't. Because you give them new things and they want to sit here. Damn it, Kev. This nigga technology, that's all it is. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mark Summers, Major Linux, twitch.tv/Major Linux. And for the first time this week, I can say it correctly. It's time for another episode of Tech Talk Thursdays, after I've been wanting to say that for the past 2 days.
In case you were wondering what day it was today, Major.
Look, I don't know. Just it seems to have rolled off the tongue. Of course, Tech Talk Thursday.
Do you know what today is?
It is Tech Talk Thursday.
It's 2 weeks from an anniversary.
It was his anniversary. It was his anniversary.
Speaking of anniversaries, I was looking for writing samples and stuff like that, and came across the first episode of the show once we relaunched and got rid of all the
backlog, as it were.
Yeah.
Yep.
True episode 1 here on MajorLinux.com, and
we got rid of the smoke and the barbecue and charcoal.
For those of you who have read Homestuck before the scratch.
Well, before the blip. Actually, yeah, that was it. No, that wasn't before the blip. An actual canon of I don't know. It's whatever. Anywho, Tech Talk Thursdays, bringing tech news to melanated folks from melanated folks. That's right. I was busy during the hiatus. Forgot to mention this last week, but that's what it is. It's who we are. And by we, I mean these fine gentlemen joining me today. Like Kev, it's your boy Kev joining me each and every week.
Hello, everybody.
And again, as I watched that old video, Cyniac. I cringed when I heard it.
Good.
It felt so bad.
But see, the thing is, you learn better and you have done better since then. So
again,
we're good.
So it made me think back to when I was upset when nobody said anything about Takal, what have you, like for years. It's like, why did anybody say it? Nobody stopped me. Nobody just like, hey, Major, this is how you pronounce this. Mm-hmm. I wasn't. What's going on, Verge? How you doing? How are you feeling? How you living? I wasn't doing it on purpose. I wasn't.
It's sin of the West. It's sin of the West Coast.
Mm-hmm. West Coast sin.
Wow, Verge.
How are we supposed to know you didn't know good music? I mean, again, I want to point out that there is a huge gap in musical knowledge for me. Like, in the 90s, my parents were allowing me to listen to hip hop. So, like, it's just a block of time that's just gone from me. Like, at that point, I was like, listening to jazz and getting into electronic music, EDM, techno. Like, truly the European shit. Because that was all that was streaming on the internet at the time. Back when, you had to go to like a
Sam
weird
Goody.
website. No, not Sam Goody. Like, you had to go to this weird internet radio website that was just broadcasting music from Europe.
But Major, why did you do all that? Winamp was right there for you.
Because I did not have the files to load them with.
Yeah, and it really does whip the llama's ass.
It did. It did. It very much did. This was before I discovered where I found my first dinghy and started rowing onto the high seas. And installed a boat and commanded a crew. And that's when I discovered Japan and all their anime OSTs.
Nah, back in the Wellerman days, because let me tell you something. The way that someone mentioned something today, I'm just like, let me go ahead and brush up on those nautical skills.
Yep. So I could bring the people sugar and tea and rum.
Because the way that this social media nonsense got me wanting to take my leave and go.
Yep.
but again, I've heard that inflation is going down. Prices will be coming down. We can afford things again.
Shit, I've been to the grocery store. That they ain't coming down fast enough.
I'm gonna say it's coming down from where and why, because like, does that mean y'all did that y'all did that on purpose in the first place? Let's talk about it.
Well,
because it really was like, what was inflation and what was really we just need to get our lick back.
Yeah, I mean, as these gentlemen are saying, despite inflation being over allegedly, like apparently there are jobs out there and people are getting them allegedly.
What jobs are, you know something? Let me shut up.
The cost of things are going up still. And your boy is still self-employed. I was about to put that in quotation marks, but no, I'm not. I downloaded the Lyft app and they mentioned something about being self-employed in there, like in the Lyft driver app, and they mentioned something about like being self-employed, and that's it. This feels gross. This is everything I hate about the gig economy.
No, that's like, see, I heard that, and all I could hear was that's propaganda right there. That's all I heard.
Yeah.
That's straight up propaganda. That's gross. That is disgusting.
It's like you work for an app, but you're self-employed. That's not how that works, bro.
Just, it made me want to throw it away, but then also at the same time, like we were discussing earlier, I gotta do something. Diabetes medication, while getting cheaper, still is expensive.
We speak in what we talked about into existence.
Hey, yeah. Oh, don't worry. Doing it. I did it. It's done. All we gotta do is wait. Yep. The worst they can say is no, and I just be in the same situation. That's what kind of. And shout out to Lucid last night. Also shout out to my wife because she said the same thing too. But it was when Lucid said it, it kind of hit me in the head. So, oh wait, yeah, you're right. There's nothing stopping me. It's not gonna get any worse if I don't do it. So fuck it. So yeah. But yeah, back to news, back to the tech, gaming, and streaming nugs this week. Of course, like I said, inflation is allegedly going down, but prices are still going up. Bitch Baby is suing everybody into existence. And of course, we got even more, not necessarily courtroom drama, but we in and out of the courtrooms today.
Wouldn't be out of place if it were on the episode of Matlock. I'm just saying.
Yes, if Matlock was into what was it, monopoly law? Well, what is it? Not antitrust.
I mean, there was that one episode.
What's going on, Ruin? How you doing? Evening to you as well. But let's get into this episode of Tech Talk Thursday, starting with Twitter is suing 4 unknown entities for unlawful data scraping. Of course, you remember back in June, what started off this whole Threads early launch fiasco celebration. I don't know, things happened.
Rush to market.
Yeah, there we go. That's it. That works. Musky Musk in Twitter says that, hey, the reason why all of those things happen on our platform with the rate limiting and the have to log in to see tweets bit was because 4 IP addresses were scraping the data of Twitter. So we had to do all of that other stuff and then submit a lawsuit instead of blocking the IP addresses with a firewall. Or I don't know. It's not like I can't sit here and
Oh no, first of all, you absolutely can sit right here and do exactly what you're about to describe.
Maybe not. I don't know the curl command as good as I thought I did, but yeah, you could just curl.
Curl.
You could curl it and get data. What the fuck?
It's almost as if he don't know what he's doing.
You know something? I brought it up to the fellas before the show, and I'm going to just bring this up once again. Wasn't old boy having a really hard time with paying bills? Why block IP addresses, 4 of them specifically, when you could just sue people and pay for your AWS nonsense?
And seeing you raise a very, very important question. For somebody who ain't got no damn money, you sure got enough money to sit there and sue 4 random IP addresses, sue lawyers, try to sue Meta.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, you thought you were gonna sue Meta for doing what exactly?
Copying Twitter, hiring people for non-competes. Dude, the site you bought, the site you bought is worth a fraction of what you paid for it.
Wait a minute.
It's like a Tesla. It lost
time out.
It lost 200% of its value once you drove it off the lot.
Major. You didn't say to me hiring people for non-competes.
So Twitter is accusing Meta of hiring non-competes.
Isn't this? Wait. Do you mean the same Twitter that we had on the episode last week?
We talked about
in
it
a
last
lawsuit
too,
for
but...
at least like what, $500 million?
Yeah, $500 million
for not paying out severances. That Twitter?
Is
that Twitter suing for?
And then we come to find out that the people who really put threads together are all Facebook and Instagram people. Like, you think Musk needs to like pull Twitter people? Like
microblogging, my guy. Like, you're not the first one. Like, Mastodon is just sitting over there in open source.
It really wasn't the first. It really wasn't the first one to do it first. It was just the thing. That was the thing, though.
Like you did invent microblogging, my guy.
Twitter wasn't really the first, but Twitter just became the best. Like, what?
Merch says here, I'm sure the lawsuit costs more than just spinning up an extra server to handle the traffic. And
damn, Merge B.
Trust
damn,
me,
what?
What's
go send be hitting?
Let him cook.
Let him cook. I'm letting Merge cook.
Merge out here cooking with the slides on and everything, just
right
out here.
I say Merge. Don't make me have to hit you with this good chunkla. Yeah.
I'm normally not Tim for. Root says here, I'm normally not Tim for a hat, but I wouldn't put it past Musk 4 entities to be fall people so he doesn't look stupid.
It's
You
giving
know?
30. You know something? It's giving 303 creative. If I'm keeping it a buck and a band, as Kevin would say, it's giving 303 creative.
Yeah, it's giving like straw. It's giving like straw man. It's giving like, these entities, we're suing them, but where are they? If them jokers ain't in like a Russian troll farm.
You mean like that whistleblower that the GOP said they got?
Oh, that was even funnier.
Oh, he disappeared. Yeah, that's because he's running from the law.
He's running for his life. He's running for his life. He out here being the whole fugitive. He out here being a whole Dr. Richard Kimball out here in these streets, and there is not a one-armed man anywhere. There ain't a one-armed man dependent on. It's just a blind woman, the blind woman of justice. Come get this man.
It baffles me how so many people thought this man was like just a genius.
Genius. Yeah. No, wait. Not they thought Major. They still think that you cannot go on.
There are some people who have
0.5 seconds.
There are people who have turned away from it.
Right.
There are like a handful of people who have disabused themselves of the notion, and the other half of them are people who are still arguing about whether remote work is viable or not, in spite of the fact that people are not coming into the office. So
oh my God! And shout out to Ruin. Shout out to Ruin for putting that meme. Well, not I'm gonna call it a meme. In his special little meme channel on the server, on the Discord server today. Like a whole Instagram is upset. A whole Instagram account is upset because buildings are losing. They're losing. Hold on, damn it! What the fuck? I'll just go find it. Where is it?
Not people. Oh, the buildings losing their property value, but someone being real upset over it.
Something like that. Here you go.
You know,
remote workers responsible for $800 billion corporate real estate collapse. But here's the caption, because that's one thing, right? But here's the caption: corporate workers who are either too afraid or lazy to go to the office are having a significant impact on the economy, and not in a positive way. A new study by the McKinsey Global Institute says that the work from home pajama patrol will be responsible for wiping out $800 billion of value in office buildings by 2030. Yay! Yay!
Okay.
See, I need Kev's hand clap of praise button.
Okay.
I need thunderous, raucous applause.
Hold on for a moment. That's it?
Y'all got that in the couch cushions. Y'all be fine.
That's it? That's it? Because here's the thing, right? I'm personally upset. I feel like we should have done more. Hold on.
God bless you.
Thank you. I feel like we're severely, if that's all that it's costing them, we're severely underperforming. We have to step that up. Yeah. That's the first thing. Second thing,
we need more people to stay home.
We can get to a trillion in a minute.
We need more people to stay home. But excuse me,
Mini Linux.
Excuse us. It is now time for the for the minor Linux minute. The MLM. Not sure how I feel about that.
Ooh.
Yes, sir. What's up?
I'm just checking the bike.
All right, he's just checking in on us. Take care.
And that was the minor Linux minute.
Yes.
Wasn't even a minute, but it was close to.
Really need to find a new name for that, because I do not like MLM.
What, for multi-level marketing?
Yeah, I don't like the acronym LLM.
You know something? Fair enough. I'm not even upset about it. So I got a question. Major, just run back the last thing you said real quick.
I don't remember what it was. Oh, we need more people to work from home?
Oh, thank you. Because this reminds me of something. Two things. Thing number one. Do y'all remember, not this year, not last year, but the year before that, when they were like, millennials have destroyed X industry, by just, opting out of capitalism in general?
Yeah.
But they just we're just And they were upset about this, mind you, not just because people were opting out of capitalism, because I can't make this a noble pursuit. Like, close up and pay attention here. People are too poor to afford these things. Like, y'all are so here talking about luxury things and then being like, millennials are ruining everything. You don't pay them. They're facing evictions. They can't go to work because you refuse to do the simple health things that would, you know, at least reduce the overall impact of a pandemic. And what y'all decided to do instead is to keep pushing things forward and getting both stuck in a canal. So, like, what are we talking about here? Is number one. And we know that that's nonsense. But number two, Negrodamus strikes again. Weren't we sitting here right at the beginning of the pandemic episodes of the show going, all of these people pushing people to go back to the office are just upset because they're in these multi-year contracts with these real estate spaces and they have to justify having them.
Thank you, Kev.
Because they continue having to. Can we get the capitalism clip, please?
Oh, wait. I got that one.
Roll the footage, because
Capitalism.
we told y'all didn't have to build a football stadium. No one asked you for an open bar. No one asked you for a keg. What we asked for was benefits and being paid on time. That's it. Run us our coins. And then y'all want to be in a tech field, things where you have an office full of people who aren't allowed to talk to each other because if you're talking, you're not being productive. If you're on your phone, you're not being productive. These magical hallway conversations and learning experiences, you're not being productive. And have people on over floor plans, but they can't be productive anyway. And then when we went home and y'all have on paper multiple years of studies where people being able to be at home and not have to worry about commute time and all of that is making them far more productive than they have been. And in a time where, for your ungrateful asses as far as corporations are concerned, we're making you money hand over fist in the billions with a capital B of profit. And what y'all decide to do is fire people and complain that we're not occupying the building that you then decided that you still wanted to pay for.
Yeah, wait a second.
At this point,
yeah, wait a second. How can we be in a place that we're not employed to be at?
Elon Musk. Oh wait, he also had to sell that building. Anyway, listen,
he had to sell a building. He got evicted out of everything else.
Ooh. And it got put on sale on Amazon for clarity.
Let me sip on that one. Hold on.
I'll join you.
So all I'm saying here is, at this point, not only is the jig up, but we have seen this one coming for years, and we're just sitting here just like, well, I mean, these are things that we already know, but here's the thing. We still do not care. The building that you bought is your problem. Yep. The work that I got hired for is mine. You see the difference? I'm doing my work. Y'all have to figure out that whole thing. And at this point, it will honestly just be cheaper for you to break whatever the lease is. P.S. The U.S. has a housing problem.
I saw a really good video about people.
While we're sitting here talking about that, right? Oh,
yeah,
wait, what were you saying?
No, I seen a really good CNBC video about people taking office space and converting that to housing, and really just talking about how hard it is to make housing from offices because of A zoning.
I saw a TikTok video of somebody going through a Zillow listing of a converted office to an apartment, and I'm like, oh, nah, dog. This, because I guess if you needed it, sure, right. But yeah, that's a no for me.
It's really they really talk about basically how hard it is to convert offices into housing, simply because of logistics, B, it wasn't really built for housing anyway. But it's like, A for effort, but then also maybe we should just build more housing. I'm more of the ilk of maybe we should just build more housing elsewhere. But I do respect them for trying to take offices that really did not need to be offices and then try to make those into housing.
So I get it. This is what you watch,
but
I mean, there's that, but then I mean, how many well, we're not going to get into law offices because
No,
those are the people that we're talking about. But it's just we have like whole housing crises. Y'all still have a whole city of people who don't have drinking water. And what you want me to care about in this year of the Beyonce tour is whether or not I am in an office building when I am one of 3 people who do a role that does not require customer interactions. If y'all don't go out here, never mind rocks, if y'all don't go ahead and kick boulders, I hope you step on every sharp Lego and stub your toe.
I hope you find a fresh Lego in all your slippers.
Well, you know something, Merge? For me, those 2 ideas are nearly synonymous, but you're right. I'm talking to Sauron. So of course I have to make sure I say specifically affordable housing, which I guess is the reason why they won't do it, because having more places for people to live means we'd have to price these cheaper.
Yo, I don't know. Some like turning an old tobacco factory into electric. I bet that shit smells kind of good though. Like, have y'all ever smelled a tobacco factory though? It's like it smells so sweet. I miss old Durham.
When in my neck of the woods they had something called like it was like a big swap meet thing called Big Z, and it was in one of those big it was like a big tobacco storage barn, tobacco warehouse, and when I tell you it smelled like what the South would smell like. It smelled the intensity of the South, of just like there was a lot of people who worked here pretty much either against they will. This smells like Jim Crow in here, and I'm not.
You said this smells like Jim Crow. I can't stand you.
But yeah,
why would you say that?
But to concur with Major's point, yeah, it did smell nice.
But it does though. I miss
you
the
this
smell.
Thing is out here smelling like zippity doodah zippity day. I am so upset.
But it smelled good though. Ooh, it smelled like oppression, but man, it smelled good.
It's like I'm just waiting for Uncle Remus to just pass by and just be like, well, let me just tell you a story about Brer Rabbit and Brer Fox, Brer Bear. And I'm like, sir, why are you here? Sir, no.
Oh my God.
Man, I do miss downtown Durham though. Like, they done gentrified the shit out of it. But I remember as a kid, you hit a certain part of downtown Durham, just smell the tobacco. I was like, oh my God. Like, it just smelled so sweet. And as a kid, I didn't know what it was. I just remember just driving to that one part and it smelled so fucking sweet. I love that smell. I'm glad that didn't get me addicted to smoking, but whew.
But yeah, boo on y'all. Y'all can deal with welcome to having to deal with normal people. Once again, we are learning that the capitalists or whatever have a really big problem with understanding simple concepts like risk assessment.
And you would think within like the 3 years, people, they'd be like, all right, the pandemic has happened. We need to like either we need to like mitigate. We need to like mitigate, cut our losses, and like try to figure out what is the new model of normal.
No, because again, in March of 2020, and they kept beating this drum for as long as they could. We need to get back to normal. We need to get back to normal. We need to get back to normal. To which I and a lot of other people are like,
how's that going?
We're not getting back. Just let it go.
Mm-hmm. There is no norm. There is no normal. The thing of where we are now is like a disease pretty much just like ground everything to a halt. We didn't have the resources to be able to like, to make allowances. A lot of us introverts were fine because we had literally been preparing for like these events for years by feathering and creating our own little well springs of basically feathering our own nests to the point where we were like, oh, we don't have to come into work and we can just remote bet.
Yeah, this shit was built with just like, this is recording studio and all like that. But yeah, pandemic hit as oh, cool.
Yeah.
This serves another purpose. I'm glad for that.
That, but then also, just for a second, more workplace studies, right? All these offices and buildings and stuff had these, was just really heavy surveillance, open office plans, all of that other stuff. Things that people are just like the mental duress of all of that.
But
Not
imagine
to mention the
all the
constant interruptions and noise.
But imagine all the people you can talk to. You can just tap them on the shoulder and ask them a question.
I'm gonna talk to Gladys.
We can all meet in a building together in a conference room and actually hash things out, as opposed to talking into a microphone that may be muted.
And it's one of those things of being like, I have no idea what y'all are on, but I feel like y'all weren't in the same office building I was in if y'all have said any of that. And I know that y'all are saying that you are only saying this in jest, but I'm talking to people who say that and they're serious.
But yeah, it's the same people who look at the study from McKinsey Global Institute.
But
this is bad.
I just sit here and I look at this and I think about how often, for me, I would be in the office. And I would be like, hey, I'm going to sit here. We have like a lot of stuff to do. I have to sit here and I have a type of work that I do where I have to zone and focus and minimize distractions. Things that people do. Overschedule me for meetings and then walk over there and constantly interrupt me. We're not going to talk about how that was wreaking havoc on every ADHD person in the planet, for one. But for another, if you see me in these big ass red ass headphones and you walk over to my desk and then ask me, hey, do you have a minute?
No.
Actually, I don't.
And y'all are doing this like 3 times every 30 minutes. Are you busy? I was, but I'm not now. How can I help you? Literally how I started responding to people for a year.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with that. Can't ignore everybody, because that's how you lose your job.
It's kind of like, imagine living in a world in general where you get fired for telling people, hey, I cannot be distracted. I have work to do that you are paying me for.
Or literally doing the work and not answering Slack in a timely manner.
That bleeds into another set of things that I saw discoursing around this week, and I'm not getting into that. We're leaving that alone. But like, just the wild stuff, the absolute nonsense of it all. Like, I'm an analyst. Here's the information that you asked me for. Thank you. Please leave me alone. Like, and mind you, and it's like, I have people that I like talking to, and that's great. But like, the general idea that people should travel to and from work at least 30 minutes to an hour each way, depending. I was fortunate enough to live within 3 miles of my office at the time. It's like, and it still took me 30 minutes to get there because of the bus route I was on. Y'all aren't paying me for that time. So we're doing what here exactly, and for what reason? And it was a time that people were proven to be less productive being in those spaces. And then in a time when people were proven on paper to be far more productive than they have ever been in any year prior, all y'all want is control, I guess, because y'all said y'all wanted productivity, but you clearly don't want that. And I feel like y'all just need to get to the point where you say the quiet part out loud at this point.
Oh, you know they won't do that.
The way that these people have been caught slipping left, right, and center these days, they will.
Well, we talked about work. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And I said, and I want to note that the person that y'all were, that was the loudest about that and that y'all were inspired by, is the person who is in the middle of a dumpster fire of a failing company. Because for no reason at all can they just not refuse to be rich and shut the fuck up. John, if you handed me a smooth $2,000 today, you wouldn't hear a, like, if you, if you
Oh no, I
handed me
said it, but
$2,000,
it didn't register. That part.
like the way that if you handed me a smooth $2,000, y'all wouldn't hear from me. I couldn't imagine having hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions, and not being able to just not express my opinion on a social media platform, but I could be on a private jet literally anywhere. Girl, bye.
I mean, you could, but then we'd be tracking you.
I mean, yeah. But see, here's the thing. A level of what I always said was the quiet. I am always a mindset of the quiet. I like to prescribe to what is called the quiet genius or the quiet millionaire, because I would rather my millionaires be silent than loud, because at least that I would know, or to do all their moves in private or to the side, because we never ask like what this like there are whole billionaires out here buying judges and attorneys and elections and all kinds of stuff. They ain't saying nothing. Traps are shut. And here we are with Elon, who could have literally just said, I'm going to fire everybody who was a part of it, hire my own guys, and then just say, run it. And then I just be like, but give me like, A-level tweet power, right? Don't say nothing. Run it as normal. Maybe throw a little bit here, unban this person, unban that person, interview with this person here. Don't make it too bad, but don't make it too good. And then just step away and be like, wear a Twitter shirt and have a TED Talk. And talk about, this is how I save Twitter. And you know what? Your sycophants will love you for it, because because to them, you will have saved Twitter. But see, you keep dabbling and you keep putting your fingies at everything, and you keep talking to people at a base level, and you keep punching down. You never punch down.
It occurs to me something, Kevin, in all of the stuff that you said.
Mm-hmm.
Can we gather close to the screen together, all of us, friends? Didn't this man just hire a new CEO? Is the new CEO approving all of these communications and lawsuits and all of these things? Because I feel like as the CTO, which is supposed to be his title, he's not supposed to be doing all of that. So
He's running it through X Corp. Wait. No, she's the CEO of Twitter.
yeah,
Not X Corp.
Is he the CEO of X Corp?
Fuck if I know.
Because I feel like if you're not the CEO, how is this happening? Who's approving this?
I think it's more like Elon put on his tracksuit and placed on them sneakers and hurdled over everybody else.
No, actually, she is the CEO of X Corp.
So he just doing whatever the fuck he wants. He just doing whatever.
I want y'all to know, once again, Negrodamus has made an appearance on this show, because didn't we say he's just going to put somebody over here who will just end up doing whatever it is that he feels like, but it's just not him with the CEO title?
Or he just gonna do whatever he just gonna give somebody the title, do whatever the hell he wants to do, and then whenever it goes south, he can just blame them for later. Like he a scapegoat. He hired a scapegoat.
This man really thinks he said Kaiba, and I hate to see it.
But he ain't even close to Seto Kaiba, because Seto Kaiba actually has intelligence. He created whole solid vision. He said, my dad, my adopted father was into weapons. And I said, nah, none of that. We're doing games now. Stop doing all the missiles and let's work on these dual monsters and let's get it going. Let's get it cracking and make more money.
Well, speaking of all the folks who are working from home, I know of a few people who should actually be working in the office and have their computers taken away from them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's our United States fucking military.
Oop.
Millions of sensitive U.S. military emails were reportedly sent to Mali due to a typo.
Ooh, Chile.
Johannes Zubier, a Dutch entrepreneur contracted to manage Mali's domain, tells the Financial Times that this has been happening for over a decade despite his repeated attempts to warn the US government. When Zubier began noticing requests for non-existent domains like army.ml and navy.ml, he set up a system to catch these misdirected emails, which the Financial Times reports was rapidly overwhelmed and stopped collecting messages. Since January alone, Zubier has reportedly intercepted 117,000 misdirected emails, several of which contain sensitive information related to the U.S. military. According to the Financial Times, many of the emails include medical records, identity document information, lists of staff at military bases, photos of military bases, naval inspection reports, ship crew lists, tax records, and more. For those who may not know why this is a big deal and how they can make this mistake, I'll go to the first paragraph here. Instead of appending the military's .mil or .mil domain to their recipient's email address, people frequently type .ml, the country identifier for Mali. This is a big issue because now I will go up higher in that first paragraph. Messages have been getting sent to Mali, a West African country allied with Russia.
This is probably petty on my part. And I understand that it's petty on my part. However, but her emails.
See what you did there.
Also wonder if any of the emails that Molly currently has until Monday were on Hunter's laptop. I just have so many questions. God, we're a fucking mess.
Yeah, we are.
Zubier won't be able to intercept these emails for much longer. However, once his 10-year contract with Mali ends on Monday, authorities in Mali will be able to gain access to the emails. Russia established a presence in Mali last year through the Wagner, I guess this is the Wagner Group.
Wagner Group, yeah.
Even though it's spelled with a W, but you know, Russia. A Russia state-backed paramilitary organization that recently staged a rebellion against President Vladimir Putin. In May, the U.S. State Department said that the Wagner Group sought to use Mali as a route to transport war supplies to Ukraine. But her emails and Hunter Biden's fucking laptop.
Mm-hmm.
And see, Merge brings up a point. They can't set up an outgoing email filter. Well, that's one thing. It's another when email is going in and it never makes it to the destination.
Yep.
Let's see here. It was, for example, an email from earlier this year reportedly contained the travel itinerary for General James McConville, the U.S. Army's chief of staff, for his visit to Indonesia. The email included a full list of room numbers along with details of the collection of McConville's room key at the Grand Hyatt Jakarta. So again, it's a thing of somebody may have set up an email chain, thought that they were sending it to a .mil account when they were forwarding messages to whoever it was in Indonesia. Then when they respond, probably notably with whatever sensitive information was attached to that from the response, got sent to .ml instead of .mil. Again, that only works if it's coming from .mil. It only works if it's coming from .mil. Doesn't work if it's going to .ml from a non.mil domain. So Marcus at majorshouse.com could email anybody at .ml thinking I was reaching somebody in the Pentagon to say, hey, I love your building. I saw 2/5 of your building when I was in Washington, D.C., and I loved seeing it. It was amazing. All contractors would be required to have this block list. Again, does not. I feel like it doesn't matter if you are outside of .mil. Right, that's the whole thing. Like, you can send it out just fine, and whatever can sit there and intercept, block, or whatever. Think about it too, like people who are typed, like, hey, you can respond back at, Major McGovern at Navy.mil or at Navy.ml. Somebody clicks the mail to link to it, that auto populates in their Gmail, their Outlook, their Boeing.com, and it just sends out because nobody looked to see a .ml versus a .mil.
Yep. So it was pretty much somebody slept on the switch, like, because nobody thought of that. I mean, like Merge is giving us all the right ways.
Yeah, but
of doing it, but
from within the house.
Did it from within the house. It's like that is what decent, sane people like would do, but if nobody's checking for that,
outside.
who checking for that? Nobody. Yeah, it's like
because .ml is a top level domain.
Yeah.
Why would I block that? If somebody did so, I mean, because think about ML. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of machine learning companies bought a .ml domain and probably set up email. And boy, I bet you if you're sending email to a machine learning domain, then it's probably going to the right place. But again, I don't think email providers will block .ml if it's a top level domain, because there could be MX records there. And sure enough, somebody set it up to collect those messages. There are, or at least were, requirements for clearance in the devices and services you install on them. This is a solvable problem even for people who are not using military emails. But what about Gmail? What about Hyatt.com? Like, that's the issue. I mean, I do use Gmail. I use it. maj.linux@gmail.com. I don't have it. Okay. Well, I mean, I use majorshouse.com. I don't have that blocked. I don't have that there. I would have never thought about it, and could have possibly, even me, a fallible human being, would have typed in Navy.ml maybe by mistake if I was emailing somebody at the Navy.
Well, I mean, here's the thing though, right? Never, like, Merge's out here being spicy, but kind of
I know
the vein that I'm talking about here, which is,
oops. Okay, so you can't go to Navy.ml, just so you know. That's not a place you could go.
Understandably, like, we're over here, we're sitting here and we're thinking about like random scenarios in which like some of these workarounds might not necessarily be viable, but it's one of those things you don't expect lay people to think about this, but you would think the military, who has shit to protect, definitely would. Someone should have just clapped that right on up. Like, what is wrong with y'all? Y'all are out here on Tandies sending emails from Yahoo addresses with military secrets on them. What is wrong with you?
So Amanda actually just went to Navy.com's website hoping I could find somebody's email address. again, I will entertain the thought that, hey, I use Linux. I'm already on a list somewhere.
Just God. It's so imagine corporations, like we're sitting here, got people pushing out whole propaganda to the whole country about people needing to not work remote, and we have to deal with this with people working in offices.
Maybe they're on to something soon.
Meth.
Well, speaking of people that may be on meth, because it's the only reason I can explain this. Peacock is raising subscription prices for the first time.
Bitch, where? If y'all don't act like you know your role, Peacock, is sit all the way down. What is this?
Your writers and your actors are on strike. You don't want to pay them anything. And then while they're striking, you know what? It's a good time to raise prices.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Comcast is Comcasting again.
Mm-hmm. It's like, but why though?
The price reflects the quality of what? They ain't got no writers and actors. What the fuck quality they got?
Unless you're trying to watch all the Housewives
or The Office.
Say it with me now. If you're a fan of The Office, you already have the Blu-rays.
But I relied on streaming.
But you already have the Blu-rays.
But I relied on streaming.
And then
also,
digital.
all the Blu-ray players are just up here with me.
That's one thing. People don't understand. You a fan of,
Yeah,
of a particular show,
Yeah,
you
like
already have the Blu-rays.
I have 2 Blu-ray players up here.
Yep.
Peacock has The Office exclusively.
Yep.
They took that shit off of Netflix and Hulu years ago.
It's funny to me.
Because that is an NBC property.
And what's also funny though is they have Yellowstone, which is a Paramount show, but it's not on Paramount Plus. But the prequels.
Oh, I could have sworn that was on there, but yeah, I seen the prequel being advertised on there.
Yeah, the prequel series are on Paramount, so it's like you can't even watch the show that the prequels are based on.
Streaming service Peacock is raising the prices of its subscription plans if you have an inclination to rewatch The Office for the 100th time. Shut up, Engadget. Do not come for my neck like that. The ad-supported premium subscription goes up by $1 to $6 per month, while the ad-free premium plus option shoots up $2 to $12 per month. An annual premium subscription is going up $10, so $60 per year, while the premium plus subscription increases $20, making it $120 a year. This all goes into effect on August 17th, according to an email sent to current subscribers. This is actually the first price hike for the NBC Universal owned streaming service since launching back in 2020.
Yep. I mean, this is how I watch, like, Peacock is pretty much how I watch, like, Below Deck and wrestling. Bel Air, yeah.
I didn't even get to finish it. I had to cut off my Peacock subscription halfway through the damn season.
Damn.
I don't even know how it ends.
Damn.
And my uncle, he wanted to talk to me about it on Father's Day. I said, damn, I ain't even get to finish. Don't ruin it for me. I'll be back soon. I don't know where, but don't spoil it for me.
I'm gonna tap back in. And you tap back in, you gotta pay more money.
Say it. And another price hike news. Google Premium, not Google Premium.
I mean, at this point.
Yeah, I feel that coming. YouTube Premium has been raised to $13.99 per month.
Which that don't make no damn sense.
Now, what got me with this one though was not necessarily this one, but several other articles I saw today saying Google quietly raised the price, and that screamed of the GOP saying I'm being deplatformed. Help! They're silencing my voice, but I see it. I see this price hike. I don't know how this is any different than any other service increasing their prices. This was not necessarily quiet because 20 different news outlets just told me it happened.
Sure as hell did.
Major, they're doing it quietly, kind of like I'm talking very quietly right now.
Oh, got you.
These people are doing a whole Broadway stage whispers at this point.
See,
Please.
Diogen, welcome back. How you doing? How you living? How you feeling? But let me as a subscriber of YouTube Premium who, somewhat does care about this price hike because motherfucker, it is expensive, especially as someone who is unemployed. It offers me ad-free YouTube, which means come election cycle, I don't see shit. It's amazing. My YouTube page looks fucking immaculate. You want to see it? It's great. Why don't I pull up YouTube right now? Not nary an ad in sight. It's just YouTube videos like it used to be. Also, it comes with YouTube Music. No, don't play that music. Please stop. Don't do that. Major pays for ad-free goodness instead of using you. Sir. What are you saying? What are you saying?
Don't let me interrupt. By all means.
What are you saying?
I am saying not a thing. Not a word.
That looks like uBlock Origin to me. Also, because you decide you just want to drag my good name through the street. Also, what are we saying? I am trying my damn hardest to block every ad in existence. Diogen, again, so my main reason for you having YouTube Premium is YouTube Music. That's actually the number one. That is the number one. 2, is so that I can have ad-free YouTube viewing outside of my house.
People are swiftly learning about me this week. I don't leave my house.
But yes, I do actively try to block ads in as many on many sites as I can. And Pi-hole is so good that, again, websites will say, hey, you're running an ad blocker, and I am clearly using a browser that does not have one at times. Whereas I look at, but I don't have one. There's none on this browser. What possibly could you be talking about? Unless you're not able to track me doing a thing because there's something in my router that's telling you not to. Wait, does YouTube only show that ad blocking pop-up for adult content? What are you talking? What ad blocking pop-up? There was an ad blocking pop-up somewhere? Oh, wait. Oh, you talking about a thing that they were... Oh, what was it? It was like they were running a test. weren't they? Because I've never got that test. Ain't nobody stopped me.
I ain't seen it either. Knock on wood.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember seeing that now. Yeah, I've not seen anything say, "Hey, you're blocking shit." So, oh yeah, I do have premium, so I guess that doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. See, I would have considered like YouTube Premium for like. There are times when I'm like, I would like to watch this YouTube video on my big screen television in the den, and like watch stuff and then not have to worry about ads playing. That would be nice.
I mean, but also if I really wanted to keep it a buck though. Yeah, see, people use their Plex servers to watch movies and TV shows. These are all YouTube videos. Some of them are broken. I should go remove them. But yeah, if you're not afraid to use a Linux command, you too could have ad-free YouTube videos if you just wait a little bit and have fast enough internet.
There'll be many times where I'm like, I have a way like,
and this is just unplayed. I'm behind on my YouTube viewing.
So basically what you're talking about here is your strategy for handling these shenanigans is that you have a DVR.
Sure, yeah, that's it. Or just an off-site play later list.
Yep.
That should anything happen to YouTube, I could still watch my YouTube videos.
Mm-hmm.
And because I have YouTube Premium, I don't feel guilty about this. But who knows how I would feel if I didn't have YouTube Premium and still did this.
Soon may the Wellermen come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
That's a Dead Island 2 Digital Foundry tech review. Again, I am behind. This is from 3 months ago. I'm slowly trying to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, see, I got time on my hands. I can do that. And yes, see some Zelda stuff. So I'm still in this YouTube universe that's on this Plex server. This is still before a link to this is before Tears of the Kingdom ever came out. They don't know the goodness that is Tears of the Kingdom yet, and all the things you can build.
Have you made it your mission to educate the masses about that?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like honestly, the thing I would be missing out on would be the music. But now it seems like there are cheaper ways to subscribe to music that I would want to listen to. But also it's the thing of I really just don't want to fuck around with the ads, even without uBlock. Can I get this running in let's see, options. Oh, this ain't it.
Mm-hmm.
Manage extension. Now that's what I want.
I say back in the day, it was good old Frostwire and LimeWire. Now it's like
there used to be a
allegedly.
Where is it?
You're not to take us back to BearShare now, Kevin. Hold on a second.
Ooh, that used to be my jam until I found Frostwire.
Oh, there it is.
I found Frostwire.
Okay, it is a lot.
Because that was when LimeWire had way too much viruses on it, so you had to, and was too clingy. And then you went to Frostwire, and Frostwire was like the less bloated version of LimeWire.
What in the fuck? Yeah. Also, well, I guess if I logged into YouTube,
get this man off my screen.
I wouldn't see some of this weird shit. Like, what is going on with this leg.
Get this raggedy man off the screen.
Which one? I mean, I saw at least two.
The second one.
That didn't help.
From the top, count one, then two.
Okay, so you were talking about Linus. Oh, because I also saw Mr. Beast.
Now see, I might rock with Mr. Beast.
I don't know.
Because you know, it is what it is. Because at least he don't hide what he does. He just says, I'm rich, I'm a rich white boy. But then it's like Linus is all like I had to stop a hacking attack in my nakedness with no drawers on.
What was that
and
bear
I'm like,
malware? My roommate would always get that when downloading crap from LimeWire. Yeah, I still don't see how people got viruses from that shit. Like,
cause see, we be knowing. We knew it was
I guess that's what it is. See, all right, look, I got to check my privilege.
I'm like, if you see like .exe,
yeah,
that was not a.
Yeah, I think it was like Bonzo or some shit. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, a music file is not exe. Like, you don't have to install music.
I guess the people who may have been getting those viruses were actually looking for applications though too.
Yep.
Trying to get the free Fruity Loops or the free Adobe.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what everybody was just always downloading fucking Adobe Creative Suite. Like, what are y'all making?
Man, imagine having like cracked like $1,000 like.
Well, for what? None of them knew how to Photoshop.
$1,000 software.
None of them knew how to Photoshop. None of them knew none of them were even attempting to learn it. So y'all got that Photoshop, like for what?
Using that to like an expensive ass MS Paint.
Exactly, like why? Why have this? I don't understand. What are y'all doing?
Meanwhile, people were like there were some out there where actually that's how they started off that's how a lot of them started off their YouTube careers.
Editing in Premiere, like I don't know what the hell I'm like. I just do basic shit in Premiere. Like honestly, I feel like I overpay for Premiere and Photoshop. I know I do, and maybe I should stop.
Like
you know
until they
next story. Apple employee reportedly.
Tell on yourself.
I would like to plausibly deny myself, and that's all I'm going to say about that.
I like that. I wasn't there, and I ain't seen nothing. All right.
Hi. Do you see this name tag over here? It says Bennett. That's what my name says right there.
Yeah. I see what I did there. Apple employee reportedly didn't tell Google about zero-day exploit found in Chrome.
That's funny.
But why though?
Like, did they have to tell you?
Well, here's the question.
It's a okay.
Why is this an article?
I'm gonna answer Kevin's first, and I want clarification on yours. Kev, legally, no, they do not. It would be nice though. It would really be nice. And hey, yo, shit's cracked. Fix it, please. But they don't have to. It's just a common courtesy. Sin. What do you mean?
Why someone pull out their laptop, open the screen, open up a document, and go, this is the thing that I'm going to decide becomes an article on 9 to 5 Mac. Why? Why is this a thing?
Because
Felipe Esposito, please explain to me
so
why
to
this is a
refer
thing.
back to the comment, refer back to the answer I gave Kev about do they have to? They don't have to. It's a common courtesy, and if it is a 0-day for a piece of software that I don't know 1 billion people use, maybe you should say something.
I mean,
Is that like that's not the like that is correct, and also outside of what I'm asking about here, which is like, hey Felipe, like the thing here is just like, hey, company doesn't like person doesn't extend something that would be considered common courtesy to another company that they don't work for.
I think it's because of the story that went behind it. So let's get into that.
Okay.
A recent update to Google Chrome web browser fixes a zero-day exploit, and as I'm just gonna skip that. More specifically, the bug was found when the Apple employee was participating in a hacking competition known as Capture the Flag, or CTF, in March. When found, the exploit was a 0-day, meaning no one was aware of it until that moment. But while Google has now fixed that exploit, it wasn't thanks to Apple security researcher. Quote, this issue was reported by SIS or SISU from CTF team HXP and discovered by a member of Apple Security Engineering and Architecture, SEER, during HXP CTF 2022. End quote. The Google employee wrote in a blog dedicated to the Chromium platform. TechCrunch's report had access to a Discord channel where a person claiming to be the Apple employee who found the bug said, quote, there wasn't any real urgency, unquote, to fix the exploit immediately. The person explained that only Apple security research team knew about the exploit and that it's not easily accessible in a real-world scenario. Furthermore, the employee claimed that the exploit was reported to Google on June 5th and that the delay was due to time it took for multiple people to sign off on the report. So again, it's the fact that somebody found it, said nothing about it, wasn't going to say anything about it, and then got told on. Said, hey, there is a hole you may want to patch. Somebody found it. Not gonna say who found it, but they found it. And you may want to fix it. And then Apple was like, but it's really hard to get to it, so I don't really think you need to fix it. We really didn't have to tell you. It's not a big deal. But oh yeah, we submitted a report anyway. We waited like 3 months to do it though, because we had people to sign off on it.
If that's the case, that's even worse, because either someone's lying or that means that for 3 months people looked at that and was just like, yeah, I guess we should get to that at some point, and had better things to do.
Yeah, so this is why it's an article. The fact that Apple was withholding a security exploit. It could have been fixed ages ago. But Apple wasn't really going to tell anybody anytime soon.
It's one of those things I guess I'm ambivalent about, but I see where it's kind of like, I mean, I guess.
I'm just saying, if you know if there is a fucking hole in some software, tell somebody.
Thing is, you know, like for me, on the level of like all of this other stuff, once again, capitalism is capitalizing, because here's the thing: if we had incentives to just not be shitty human beings in general, and like we had like some kind of genuine like something resembling warm feelings, possibly compassion toward other people, I would be like, hey Major, I noticed the thing real quick, I'm just gonna slide this into your DMs. But that's because I know Major and I care about Major. Child, let me find something about Apple. I'd be like, listen, unless you were offering me significant amounts of money, y'all can figure that out on your own time. I am not interested.
Well, in more Apple news.
Oh no.
Apple says it would remove iMessage and FaceTime in the UK rather than break end-to-end encryption.
Okay, now that sounds weird for the UK, because like, when would the UK be asking for something like that?
Oh, they've been doing that. Like, UK is like big. Like, you think the US is weird about backdoors in software and shit? Oh, the UK is fucking next level. The UK is
GDPR
literally
people,
a surveillance state.
Aren't they the GDPR people though?
No, that's the EU.
Yep.
Oh no. Child, okay, let's read this article.
Facing possible legislation that would require messaging services to offer backdoors and end-to-end encryption, Apple is saying it would rather remove apps like iMessage and FaceTime entirely from the UK market. The new online safety bill is currently under review. Apple, WhatsApp, Signal, and other services have voiced their opposition to the proposal. The UK government wants the ability to scan end-to-end encrypted messages for child abuse material and other illegal content. They argue the existing law accommodates this, but is technically outdated by the security provisions of modern technology. So yeah.
Nah, they can kick rocks.
They who?
The UK asking for that.
So yeah, there's a possibility that, you know, hey, your friends in the UK you won't be able to FaceTime them or send them iMessages, which I feel like is half a problem.
No, the really big problem, if you're in that area, I feel, would probably be losing like.
Oh yeah, WhatsApp
access.
and I forget. This is a Apple-centric website. I forget that they also did mention WhatsApp and Signal, and I imagine Telegram would be on that chopping block too. So yeah. WhatsApp probably does already have that backdoor. Thanks, Meta.
That's going to cause problems that they don't want. These people don't want to hear from me because
And they'll look at you and say, are you a UK citizen? Are you a UK citizen?
This is where I tell them that while I am not a UK citizen, my partner is a UK citizen. And if I can't talk to them, I'm coming for your pinky toes.
Oh.
Disrespectfully.
I'm gonna say that'd be the only reason why it'd be taken, because it's almost useless. Maybe, I don't know.
Because I'd be like, oh, what, your pinky toe? Like, aside from keeping your balance, like
I was thinking that maybe that's what it was for, because like I don't know, it doesn't really do anything for me. Then I've got really fat feet.
That's what it's for. So unless you like falling into walls of the refrigerator, I would suggest that you keep them. But like,
I fall anyway.
I would just go ahead and fight these people on their front lawn. It's fine. It's fine.
I heard they have a very big one.
I have nothing better to do.
Several big front yards. Who's ready for gaming news? Oh, I'm sorry. No, let me rephrase this. Who's ready for Microsoft news?
Ooh.
Xbox news. Because that's like 99% of the articles in gaming this week. Starting with...
Is Microsoft doing something interesting this week?
Let's find out. First off, pour one out for one's homie. Larry Hryb, Major Nelson is leaving the biz, or at least he's leaving Xbox. Now I am the one true Major.
Sir of IP.
Mm-hmm. The Major's retired. Long live the Major!
And just so we're clear, I was Major before he was.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we got that out of the way, who's ready for some Starfield? Who's ready to take some sandwiches?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Starfield.
However, if you're planning on playing this on the Xbox Series S, a quarter of your storage is gonna be gone.
Mm-hmm.
Starfield, is it that's Bethesda, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Girl. Apparently they have been up to some nonsense and people have been eating them alive in these
As-
internet forums.
As they should.
Now,
As they should.
I want to point out that they said it's a quarter of the Xbox storage, but it's not a quarter of the storage. Kev, do you have the approximate amount of storage that's in an Xbox Series X that's actually usable?
Yeah.
No, I mean, do you have that number? Could you tell me what that number is?
Oh, I don't have it off the top of my head. I can check.
It's
Hold on.
about 360 something gigs, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 300 something on gigs, yeah. But I'm about to tell you what's going to be on mine.
So what
How much I
Kev
got left?
confirms that they're saying that it's going to take 125 gigabytes of storage space on an Xbox for Starfield. Which, yes, if it was 500 gigabytes, sure, maybe that's a quarter. But if you're looking at about 360 gigabytes of storage, that's like a third. Not a quarter, but a third of your storage is gone. Emerge, yep, and I think I put that in my own post. I think I put that in my Mastodon post. Like them introducing the 1 terabyte Series S makes a shit ton more sense now. They couldn't wait any longer because this right here was gonna be a wrap. Too much sense. What's the side eye? What's the side eye thing? I feel like this is a side eye moment.
Bombastic side eye. Criminal offensive side eye. Okay. So an Xbox Series S has 364 gigs of total free space. Mine has 95.3 gigs of free space.
What'd you do? Delete everything?
I deleted a lot.
So look,
And I
Starfield's coming. Wide berth.
Well, that and like there's just like a handful of games. Like I got all my big games off the drive, and then right now it's just like maybe a small handful of like indie titles, Fall Guys, and like Sunset Overdrive, which I own on PC, just haven't played.
Dodgen says dedicated Series S per game, hot swappable consoles. It's the future. Again, what I say, they're gonna start putting games on those expansion cards.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that is the future. Might as well.
Look, I'm calling it right now. They're gonna put games on them expansion cards. Call of Duty will be on the next Seagate expansion card.
Mm-hmm. Cause if you'd be like, all right, I'm gonna buy a new Call of Duty, but then it comes with like I buy a card, but it comes with a Call of Duty. I'm just saying.
You just already own it. It's already on.
Already
You
on?
gotta download it. Just slide it in.
Already on that mug. Yeah.
It starts patching. That's all. It's all it needs to do. Just patch.
Mhm.
Look, all I know is that the Lawson estate needs to get paid. That man was a pioneer.
Oh.
And more Xbox news. Speaking of weird things that are happening in prices of subscriptions, Xbox Live Gold is becoming Xbox Game Pass Core on September 14th.
Kevin, I am so sorry.
Wait, what now?
Listen to Major read the thing about Game Pass Core and the way that you just looked so weary and tired. You're just like, I'm tired of y'all making up these names. Just
I'm just tired. Oh, I'm just tired in general. I wasn't tired about that.
Fair enough.
I'm just universally tired. It's like I'm like the Hulk. I'm always tired.
Today, we're continuing our commitment to give players more choice and value by introducing Xbox Game Pass Core, launching on September 14th. Game Pass Core is the evolution of Xbox Live Gold. Game Pass Core will give players access to our advanced multiplayer network, a selected collection of over 25 games to play with friends around the world, and exclusive member deals, all for $9.99 US a month or $59.99 US a year. So they finally did it. They finally did it. They got rid of Xbox Live. It's just now Game Pass. And of course, the first 25 games that will be available are Among Us, Descenders, Dishonored 2, Doom Eternal, Fable Anniversary, Fallout 4 and 76, Forza Horizon 4. That's odd because 5 is clearly out, but okay. Gears 5, Grounded, Halo 5 Guardians, Halo Wars 2. Well, I mean, I guess the Halo Infinite's not so damn. Oh, they're not putting new shit on there. Hellblade, Singular Sacrifice, Human Fall Flat, Inside Ori and the Will of the Wisp, Psychonauts 2, which I feel like is new enough. State of Decay 2 and the Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited.
Which, to be fair, not a bad list. It gives you a little taste of Game Pass, a little sampler, a witness sampler of Game Pass, It
says new titles will be added 2 to 3 times a year, so it will not be cycling out as much as Game Pass proper. Holy shit, I just realized Microsoft is about to own 2 large MMOs now. Yep.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
So now you have a smattering of Game Pass plans, and you can choose the one that's right for you. Of course, you can go core with online console multiplayer catalog of over 25 high quality games on console, member deals and discounts. You can console for $1 more a month at $10.99. Hundreds of high quality games on console, new games on day one, member deals and discounts, which I don't see why you wouldn't do console for that extra $1 just to get all of that. That seems like a bargain. I feel like you're paying too much for core at that point. Unless things are going to happen soon. And that console price goes up.
Yeah.
For the PC, for $9.99 a month, hundreds of high quality games on PC, new games on day one, member deals and discounts, and EA Play membership. Also, I'm surprised EA Play membership isn't mentioned on console. Did they take that away? And then Ultimate for $16.99 a month, hundreds of high quality games on console, PC, and the cloud. New games on day one, member deals, discounts, and perks, online console, multiplayer, and EA Play membership. Also, Games with Gold will come to an end on September 1st. Players can continue to access any Xbox One games they previously redeemed through Games with Gold if they remain a Game Pass Core or Game Pass Ultimate member. Wait a second. Wait, hold on. Players can continue to access any Xbox One games they previously redeemed through Games with Gold if they remain a Game Pass Core or Game Pass Ultimate member. Regardless of subscription status, any Xbox 360 titles redeemed via Games with Gold in the past will be kept in a player's library. Wait a second, so you don't technically own the Xbox One versions of Games with Gold games? That's news to me. Wow. That is sad. That is sad. But again, $10 a month to only be limited to 25 games, when like you could just spend an extra buck a month and get everything. Microsoft would have had to have copied Sony, because when Sony did PlayStation Plus and was giving away their games, Sony was like, from day one of their PlayStation Plus, if you stop subscribing to it, you lose access to the games.
Mm-hmm.
And that was on PS3. So the 360 era, when Games with Gold was working, was doing its thing, you own those games.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that policy changed with Xbox One. That fucking sucks. Well, I guess people have fun with that. I'm gonna stay on that Ultimate for as long as I can.
Yeah. Damn.
Speaking of Xbox Game Pass, we've got new games that are coming. On July 18th, Tectonica, Toem and the Cave. July 19th, Maquette. July 20th, Figment 2, Creed Valley, and The Wandering Village.
Mm-hmm.
On the 25th, Serious Sam, Siberian Mayhem. On the 31st, Vimba. And hey, if you would like to check out Vimba gameplay, I recommend that you go to youtube.com/MajorLinux, where I have a major offline of the Vimba demo.
Yep. I have played, and I too, if you want to check out my YouTube channel, I've also did a demo for Venba, Toem, and The Wandering Village. So those are actually pretty good. And I am looking forward to playing The Wandering Village next week. Yeah. So yeah.
And on August 1st, Celeste is coming to Xbox Game Pass. Of
Strawberries.
course, as things show up, things go away.
Yep.
And at the end of the month, Dreamscaper, Expeditions Rome, Marvel's Avengers,
That was wild.
The Ascent, and 2 Point Campus
Yeah.
are leaving Game Pass.
Mm-hmm. Oh, quick
That
shot.
means y'all are about to get a week of Kevin playing 2 Point Campus, because I know
He owns
Kevin
it on
loves that
Steam.
game.
Oh, I got it on Steam.
He owns it on Steam.
Oh, I got it on Steam. And if you are like me, note that 2 Point Studios has created a save transfer tool that will allow you to basically back it up to 2 Point County, which is their like website / like backup tool thingamajiggy. And so you can back it up there and it'll hold the set. You basically can back up your Game Pass save and you can transfer it to Steam or wherever else that you were logged into 2 Point County. And that is something.
More games need that shit.
More games need that. I cannot tell you how I would love to have that for Monster Hunter Rise, and take my Switch save and plug it into my PC, my Steam save. Cause yeah, that'd be great. That would be nice. Same thing with Exo Primal. If I decide I want to, if they leave Game Pass and I want to buy it on PC, buy it on Steam, I could do that with them too, because I have to log into that Capcom ID shenanigans. So that would be kind of cool if they did that. More games need to do that. Definitely.
Kinda is just I don't know. This is a lot of accounts I got to keep up with, but it's whatever.
I mean, that's what we have Key Pass.
Or Bid Warden.
A bit more, yeah.
Is Avengers leaving because the servers are shutting down? I would say that might have helped. That might have helped that decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on, Pulse? Pulse asks, so it's cross progression. Are you able to switch in between them like that? Like, could you just like is there a limit to the amount of times you can upload and download the save, or is it just syncing the save to the 2-point county servers and you can just pull it down, like it syncs it automatically and you pull it down automatically? Kev? That was a question for you.
I thought that was...
No, that was not an answer. I don't play 2-point, so I would not know.
Okay, yeah, it's basically it basically plugs into like 2-point county, so basically it saves it and then it just holds it until you get 2-point campus on another platform, and then you just log into 2-point county and then your save will
so it's
download.
automatic. It's automatic.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So then, I guess it would be. So I guess that would technically be cross progression. Merge? No. Shut up. No. I was upset when I saw Humble Bundle was offering LastPass Family. I was like, what are you doing? Humble, what are you doing? You lost your way.
I think what Verge talking about 2-point has a metaverse. 2-point basically does have a whole universe to itself.
Look at the last thing Merge typed. That's what I'm referring to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why I'm telling them to shut. Like Humble Bundle has, because I saw it today. Well, I don't think it'll be on Humble Games. I forgot they have 2 different websites that go to 2 different places. They emailed it to me today. Maybe they removed it. It's like, no, we're not doing that. And there's also Cybersecurity 0 to Hero. Maybe it's not in here. Oh, there it is. Yes. Exclusive the LastPass Family Sale. Pay what you want for LastPass. MSRP $48. That's right. This bundle has raised $101 for charity. See, somebody needs to talk to Covenant House. Y'all attached the wrong name to your charity. It's sad. Ain't nobody buying that. And more Microsoft news. We're getting into the acquisition part of the show.
Oh, yeah.
Lose all your data and passwords whilst helping charity. Losing your privacy for a good cause. UK extends deadline for final decision on Microsoft Activision Blizzard deal, with Xbox possibly giving up cloud gaming control. Microsoft is considering selling off the cloud-based market rights for games in the UK to appease the country's regulator. I mean, that sure would suck, because it's not like they haven't already, started putting their games on NVIDIA GeForce Now. And more extension news. Wait, did I remove that one? I think I did. Yes, I did. Because yeah, the FTC or the closing of Microsoft and ABK, it was supposed to close this week. It did not, but so they extended it out till October, try to get everything done. And as I had stated on Mastodon, I was told when my assignments weren't turned in on time, it was a 0. It means it didn't happen. We shouldn't get extensions on assignments if we couldn't get it done in time. The closing of the Microsoft Activision deal was extended to October. The FTC motion has been denied as Microsoft's Activision acquisition nears completion. There was so this is their appeal. Yeah, so this is the appeal that got denied, so they're gonna keep going. FTC said, please stop. Don't move, please. Of course, nah, dog. We gonna move. Meanwhile, on another field of battle, or on another theater of war, the Supreme Court, we hate them. We hate them, and we love to hate them. They still fucking up. Supreme Court denies gamers' last-ditch effort to block Microsoft's Activision acquisition. And even Kagan, one of the left-leaning judges, was like, no, we won't see this. And didn't give a reason why. Says no.
Who the Supreme Court is doing it for the one time, the 22 and the 23, and I am tired.
So there's really not much in Microsoft's way now.
Nope.
But this
ain't no stopping us now. We on the move.
But this part here is what really bothered me, and I'm gonna admit I was someone on the fence. I would love to have some Activision games or some Blizzard games on Game Pass, but now I'm like, oh, just the UK ruling over the cloud gaming. Yep, and they may work out something, and Microsoft's willing to do it because they know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
They said all the right things. But this right here, this next piece of news is what really upset me.
Okay.
22 House Republicans call on the FTC to drop opposition to Xbox's Activision Blizzard merger. And I'm like,
that's suspicious.
Microsoft, they're the bad guys.
That's weird.
Those are the bad guys.
Smell like the ops to me.
That's funny, yes, but not funny. Ha ha ha. Funny, weird.
Mm-hmm.
I just.
Kind of smacks of the ops to me.
Quote, so the letter, which was addressed to the FTC chair Lena Khan and Commissioners Slaughter and Bedoya, calls on these three to drop its antitrust case against Microsoft. Oh, it was antitrust. Okay, I learned a thing.
Yeah.
Requesting the agency, quote, return to its long history of a sensible consumer-oriented antitrust enforcement, unquote. Statement here says, the FTC's case against Microsoft's acquisition of Blizzard is the largest in a series of actions that are clearly designed to impede legitimate mergers and acquisitions while ignoring decades of settled FTC practice across Republican and Democratic administrations. Instead of protecting competition as Congress intended, the FTC has spent taxpayer resources seeking to block a deal that promises to expand consumer choice and insulate a dominant foreign company from competition.
So, everyone, Does that sound even remotely true to either one of you?
The choice part, no.
Mm-mm.
Because stopping the merger would not eliminate choice. And I'd have to see the numbers for Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo to sit there and see who the FTC is protecting in this case.
That part.
Because who's the dominant foreign company?
Who's the
TikTok.
Like who?
I'm kidding. That's not serious.
Because I'm like, who's being like hurt and aggrieved in this scenario? Like, who's actually feeling the hurt?
My yacht, it's lonely.
You know, it's only because the Congress decided to write to the FTC about this that all I want to say here is, respectfully, the people of Flint still don't have drinking water.
Yes, Sony is a foreign company. It is a Japanese company. PlayStation is also, I mean, even just PlayStation is run out of Europe. If I'm not mistaken, the CEO of Sony Computer Entertainment or SEI or SIN or whatever the fuck they go by today is British.
Are you talking about Flying Jim Ryan?
Yeah, man. I was thinking about Andrew House, but yes, Jim Ryan.
Yeah.
Jim
My
Ryan
man's-
also is British.
My man came up like my man came into that courtroom, says, "I'm the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down." Oh, my man said, I am here to ruin Microsoft. I'm here to chew bubble gum and ruin Microsoft's deal, and I'm all out of bubble gum."
And he still couldn't do that.
It couldn't do that. And the way we hear about it, man's got a worse deal. He got the Garrett. He was pushing so hard for Call of Duty, he lost all the other Activision Blizzard.
I mean, but what are they making though?
I mean,
But we'll get to that in a second, because there's more. Oh, damn it! I didn't lose it. It's right here. Microsoft and Activision Blizzard extend merger agreement to October, so they can fix the UK stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So October 18th is the new deadline.
Child, ain't in no rush. Take your time. Take your time. Take your time, Uncle Phil. Take your time.
Blizzard's bringing its PC games to Steam, starting with Overwatch 2.
Mm-hmm.
Players will still need a Battle.net account, though.
I mean, it is what it is. As long as I don't have to physically use Battle.net, I could just log into it. It's fine.
I think you still will.
Mm-mm. Well, then never mind then.
It's gonna launch like the EA, like the EA desktop app launches.
Oh yeah, never mind then.
Blizzard says that players on Steam will still need a Battle.net account connected to Overwatch 2 to play the game. Steam version will support Steam achievements and friends list, but Blizzard did not announce Steam Deck support. Which I'm going to point out, people have gotten it working on Steam Deck. People have gotten it running on Linux. It also apparent, from what I have heard, Steam has put, or Valve has put into work to make sure that it works on Proton. So Blizzard ain't gotta say shit. As long as Valve says it works, that's all I care about.
That would be like, we got you.
And as Kev was saying, Sony agrees to a 10-year Call of Duty deal with Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Phil Spencer tweeted on the 16th, "We are pleased to announce that Microsoft and PlayStation have signed a binding agreement to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation following the acquisition of Activision Blizzard. We look forward to a future where players globally have more choice to play their favorite games."
I'm feeling very strongly about using the word malarkey here.
Blizzard games are my last reason to have Windows. Let's see. Also, Kev says here, Microsoft's original deal offered to Sony in January 2022 included keeping, quote, all existing Activision console titles on Sony, including future versions in the Call of Duty franchise or any other current Activision franchise on Sony through December 31st, 2027. The deal terms have clearly changed since that opening offer, with an extension to 10 years that's limited to just Call of Duty.
Yep.
So again, I only think that PlayStation was concerned about Call of Duty. Again, Activision really doesn't make much of anything else.
I mean, true to a degree, but then when it says like, hey guys, we're gonna take Ratchet and Clank, and that's gonna be Xbox, and then whatever other property is blank. So you basically kind of said, all we want is Call of Duty. Well, here you go. Like, you could have been like, well, just put them on all of them. Just give us the whole catalog, and then be like, cool, we're good with that. But
see, I feel like that's what was on the table. Like, they're like, well, no, we want Call of Duty and all of them for longer. And Microsoft was like, look, you either get Call of Duty for 10 years, or you can have all of them for 5. But you can't have both.
I'd be like, all right, let's get 5 and then renegotiate later on it. Because
it seems like a sensible thing to do, which is probably why they didn't do it.
Right. That was the part. Because it was like, and then like Jim like actively spiking the deal, but to the degree of like, look, I know it was more on the fact that we're spiking the deal because we don't want you to have it. But then also, I would have rather been like, all right, we won't spike the deal if you say give us it for 5, and then we'll renegotiate for terms.
But I'm also wondering too if there was something that would have been happening down the line to where Microsoft was like, you know what, we don't feel like making Call of Duty anymore, or doing Xbox or thing anymore. That would jeopardize that after 5 years. So it was like, sure, you may not, or it may be the fact that, so we get all the Activision shit for 5 years, but Activision's not making anything. We know. So they're like, oh, wait, but okay, Activision may not make another Crash Bandicoot, but you're always going to make a Call of Duty. You're always going to make a Call of Duty. So yeah, we'd rather have that. We'll take the one game we know you're going to make for 10 years.
Right.
I'd rather not risk it for less time, for me to have Call of Duty for less time if you aren't making anything else. So it makes sense to be like, oh no, you'll definitely be making Call of Duty for 10 years. Or supporting Call of Duty for 10 years. We want that. If I can have anything for 10 years, it's that. Just that game. Fuck it, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I think happened there.
Like, imagine what I also think. Like, imagine what could have happened if he had just said, "All right, we will spike the deal if you just like if we could just have better negotiation. If he just said like give us a firm 15-year guarantee for Call of Duty, and then like 5-year waiving option for the rest of the qualities, and we will not spike the deal. But if you do, we spike the deal. Like,
Microsoft probably said, "Fuck no, spike it. We don't care. We'll win."
Right.
And that's exactly what happened.
But see, that's the thing though. It was literally them saying we have no guarantee. We're spiking the deal, and then it was like, oh yeah, we have like you've made no guarantee that you're going to give us Call of Duty. We're spiking the deal. And then they could not spike, and then the laughable FTC case, and then it was like and then them winning on the
like
guise of
Sony had no bargaining power at that point,
right? And then Uncle Phil being like, oh well, in order for us to smooth the way, we'll cut you a deal.
It's like he just came and said, "You still want Call of Duty for 10? Yeah, that's right. Sure, motherfucker. You bet you do." And this is walked off.
Right.
To answer Sin's question here, or going back to Blizzard games are my last reason, or this is from Merge. Blizzard games are my last reason to have Windows. Once I know I won't get banned for Proton, I'm out. Or Sin asked in the chat, banned for Proton, why? Well, it's the same reason why we do not have Destiny on the Steam Deck, or why I can never ever play Fortnite or any of the Hoyoverse games on Steam Deck. The anti-cheat requires Windows.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So even though like the software could run on Proton, if the anti-cheat determines that you're not running a legitimate copy of Windows, it will ban it. It's a possibility it will ban your account. I've had many of Linux users who try to play Overwatch or other Blizzard games or just other games in general on Linux, and they have their accounts banned because a check went wrong. It was found out that they were not running on Windows and they had their accounts banned. So that's that's what Merge is referring to. If Blizzard can find out that you are not running Windows. More PlayStation news. We've made it out of Microsoft and into PlayStation. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart PC specs and new features have been revealed. And you remember how they said, Ratchet & Clank could not work on any slower storage ever? Like you need the SSD on the PS5 in order to run the game at like you're supposed to.
Are you going to shock us by telling us that was in fact a lie?
Yes and no. It is. They definitely meant with the tech behind it, which is what I'm getting into. So on PC, they released the tech specs for Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. You do not need an SSD to play this game. For the minimum spec, you can have a platter hard drive all you want. The way they're getting around it is by using my favorite technology, direct storage. Let's see here. Okay, so I don't think they get into it here. Oh, yeah, they do. To ensure a smooth dimension hopping experience, our team implemented Direct Storage 1.2 in Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart on PC, including GPU decompression. For those who don't remember, and actually I'm not even sure if I talked about it on the show before, but direct storage is the new DirectX API that allows for assets to be taken directly from storage and be decompressed and be used on the GPU, bypassing a whole bunch of steps to allow games to load a lot faster. This was technically, or at the beginning, it was a PCI Gen 4 exclusive technology and was also exclusive to Windows 11. But as they kept developing it, it became available on Windows 10 in a limited capacity. It became available on slower NVMe drives. Then it also became available in a limited capacity on platted hard drives. So what they're allowing for this game to do is to be able to still use your platter hard drive to load in assets directly from that drive to your GPU. It won't be as fast as an Gen 4 NVMe, which they recommend for direct storage, but it should still kind of give you that feel of instant loading, especially when going, like when Ratchet jumps from his dimensions. Now, loading into a game may still take a while, but at least like when he's jumping in between dimensions and doing all that stuff, it should still be able to go that fast.
Mm-hmm.
Ruin says, also, whenever Nixus gets involved, they not only port the game, they go above and beyond. New features and everything, props. Oh, so this is a Nixus joint? Oh, yes, it is. I mean, it's also Insomniac too, so.
Wait, Nixus did Spider-Man, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And Nixus is a PlayStation joint. We covered that purchase and was like, yep, that should only be good things. Good things.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Obviously, this takes the fun out of testing this game with a platter hard drive because they literally tell you, hey, you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, it's still like minimum spec. I can use the hard drive, but I wonder if I turn it on like with amazing ray tracing, could I still have it running on that hard drive? Yes, Merge. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I want to see, I feel like you could have a hodgepodge of these and get somewhere, right? I just want to take this. I just want to take the storage and put it over here and then see what happens. I just want to take this and put it over here. Yes, I am hoping that by the time this game comes, by the time it's released, I should be able to own it, or I don't know, maybe something good will happen. But yeah, specs are out and you can use a platter hard drive. There is a game that is coming out though, and I can't remember what it is, that is definitely requiring SSD no matter what. Also made you can do the Steam Deck review. Oh yeah, this thing should be able to run on Steam Deck, but that also has that's using a Gen 3 NVMe if I'm not mistaken, or at least the one. Well, I think the one I installed was Gen 4, but like I imagine I should be able to at least get like 720/60 out of it, maybe not, maybe 720/40. Let's see here. What else do we got? I think that's it. Streaming news and mergers and acquisitions news again. Logitech buys Stream Deck rival Loop Deck.
Interesting.
So Logitech now has another way to compete with Corsair, with Elgato, and Avery Media.
Yeah.
And that looks, and see, this loop deck here looks really cool. But then somebody was asking, like, is it comparable in price? I went to look them up, and it's like, there are some inexpensive loop decks. And then looked at this one and said, oh, yeah, that one, no, baby, no, I can't afford that one.
Nah, baby, I can't do that for you.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. Let's see here. Well,
It looks adorable and has all the little RGB things on it, so the design's nice at least. If this thing works natively with, works relatively well with Spotify on a native level,
I mean, the Stream Deck doesn't?
no, it's really annoying about that actually.
So yeah, you can get like the Loop Deck Live S. This is $189. So how much is a Steam Deck though? Or Stream Deck?
There was, I think it was a sale, like it was like 119.
The Stream Deck Mark II retails for $149.99. So okay, so this is just a little bit more expensive, but you actually do have like 4 physical buttons, 2 knobs. Haptic feedback? Ooh. Yeah, like things just go up higher and higher. Got the Loop Deck Live, the Loop Deck Plus, and then the Loop Deck CT, which is the one in the article here, for $559 or $559. So it's a little bit more, it's a little bit more premium. But I mean, maybe you get what you pay for. You can with the Steam Deck, and I imagine you can with this too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. This is an editing deck. Yeah, I wouldn't know what to do with this. But yeah, so there's that, and of course free play days for Xbox. You got PGA Tour 2K23 again. I feel like they're really trying to slap it in my face that, hey, you say you want to play golf, we keep giving you golf to play fucking golf. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, Meet Your Maker, and Tram Sim. So yeah, that's all we got. Gentlemen, we did it. We made it.
Hey,
Bam,
Love
bam,
to see it.
bam.
we love to see it.
Whew, so that's all the nugs I was fit to read. What's everybody's week looking like?
I have a visiting me from out of town. So I am going to spend the rest of the week hanging out with them, do some tabletop stuff over the weekend, and maybe try to catch up on some reading.
Cool.
Nice. I'm going to be doing. I'm
sorry. Excuse me. I imagine that's who you were just looking off camera to just a second ago.
What?
You were looking off camera quite a bit. So I imagine they are just out of frame there.
Oh no.
Oh.
Not at all. Like, that is because articles are on this screen over here.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Kev. I interrupted with totally incorrect information.
All good.
See,
Trying to be nosy and messy.
Mm-hmm. Look at you. But yeah. I probably got like slim to none. Probably stay hydrated in the house as much as I possibly can, because summer be summering like a mug. Probably slim to none, and like tinker with some projects that dabble with my iPad some more. I've discovered the wonder and joy of Apple Arcade, and so that is definitely. I'm using the 3-month trial that came with my iPad, but I think them $5 a month are about to be well invested. Let's see. Been playing a lot of Exo Primal, so I'll probably be playing more of that.
It's still not telling me that he's playing.
Look, I'm gonna tell you, 100%. You say, Kev, let's spin up some. You say, Kev, let's spin up some Exo Primal, and I'll be like, bet, I'm pulling up. But if you just say, let me know when you playing, I may not. I can't tell you. But if you say, Kev,
is there a feature that lets me know when somebody's playing something? I could have sworn Xbox had that built in at one point.
Because yeah, it should. Because you know,
like to notify me on my phone when you launch it, and it's like, all right, bet, let's go.
Right. Then you could be like, Kev, I'm pulling up, and I'm like, bet, let's go.
Where's my friends list?
To quote a thing I have heard on Instagram, because Instagram is a great place for hearing things. To quote what I've heard on Instagram, if you want to, like Kevin just said, if you want to play Exo Primal with me, make like a dreidel and spin the block.
There you go. That part. Because there'd be some times I'm like, I might be feeling in a mood to play games with people. And there may be times when I, may want to play with people, but I don't know how. So if you say like, hey, Kev, because that's what happened with what Didi does. Didi's like, I want to play Raft with you when you want to play. And then I say, how about Saturday? And then she's like, bet. So now it's on the calendar.
Wait, I forgot. Raft has online multiplayer, not couch multiplayer.
Yeah, that's the thing I've been like champing at the bit. Like, during one of these sales, we should just go ahead and do a paid like Thursdays and just us be on Raft.
I mean, I own Raft. I do.
Okay.
Like, so I have a whole ass YouTube video, and I had a stream with it with my son sitting here barking commands at me.
Saying, you want to get on this Raft? If we do the Raft thing and it's on sale, you want to pull up with us?
So you know what? Why not?
There is no option to notify me when somebody plays this game. That's a bummer.
Yeah. Because it's kind of nice though to know, So, but like I say, if you see me on with anything,
that's the thing. Like, I'm not staring at Xbox Live, so I would never know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it'd have to be that one moment I see you pop up live on Discord, and it's like, oh, he's playing it now.
Yeah. Or if you just say, hey, Kev, I'm down to clown with some extra primal. Just say like, okay, what day? And then I'm gonna say what day or when.
Yeah, see,
And then we work the calendars.
And see, that's going to be tough because it's like the thing of like, that was good enough for me to eat. It's not something I'm going to be asking for. I wouldn't ask. Like, it's okay. It tastes good, but I wouldn't ask for it.
Like that was definitely one of them games where, like, when I tell you I had zero want to play it. Like, I mean, I had zero. Even, because we all have that whole like Game Pass thing of like, well, it's out, I'll try it on Game Pass, like we did with Redfall, and you'll see what happened there. So my expectations were low.
For me, it was more or less just like people were talking about it enough to where it's like, oh, it's coming on Game Pass? I guess I should check that out. I mean, so yeah, like I guess I should check that out.
It was favorable, but I had zero interest. And then I watched my good friend and mutual, a Ray, who typically plays a lot of the Capcom games, the Sony games, not Sony games, Sega games, because she plays a lot of the Yakuza. She plays a lot of Yakuza. And Final Fantasy 16 and Final Fantasies and 16 and 14. So she plays a lot of that too. And so she was playing Exo Primal, and I was sitting up there watching it, and that gameplay loop was looping like a mug, and I was like, let me try that out. Let me I think I was watching it Saturday. I think she was streaming Saturday. I said, tomorrow when I'm out and about, I'm gonna download it, and then I'll probably play it either that Sunday night or that Monday. And then I played it, and then I didn't play it Sunday because I got wiped for Sunday. And so then I played it. I woke up Monday morning, and I was like, let me play it before the stream starts. And I was like, damn, this is actually not bad. Like, this is feature complete. It runs, and there was no I didn't have to wait a long time for games. There was no glitches. There were no game breaking bugs. There was some weird dino pathing where where a Triceratops would crash into a building and then come in through the other side of the building. But I figured that was okay, it can't be all perfect. But to be feature rich 1.0 and did not break, that's actually pretty impressive. And I want to give Capcom its props on that one. Full 60 with monetization in it. And I'm like, okay, fine, sure. Game of 2023, I get it. But
yeah, when I saw the monetization, I was like, so this game is free, right? And when I went to look, and people in chat were like, no, it's not. It's $60. I was like, okay, that sucks.
That was like, ooh.
Also, hairstyles for black folks.
None. And no character customization, true character customization options. You got to pick from a load of faces. You know how weird it is when you go and see somebody's face and it's your character's face on another character's face, on another person's face.
Well, and I'm like, is it the main conceit of that game though?
Yeah, because it's you're supposed to see it would be nice if you could literally see the character that you created like you did in Monster Hunter. Because Monster Hunter has great, totally better. I was able to see
my character just fine.
No, I mean your character looks like your character. You're rarely gonna see another character look like your character. It's I see my character's face on other faces.
Like I said, isn't that the main conceit of that game?
No.
I could have sworn it was.
No.
I mean, that initial trailer when he came back after being bought into that parallel universe, and they showed that feed that, hey, you got a chief, I got a chief, and they were both the same.
Right. In that vein, sure, but then they also say we brought they also brought other Exo fighters from other dimensions.
Right. So it's like, I mean, like, just even then, if they all have a chief that all look the same, relatively speaking, like, there's a chance you will find somebody that looks like you.
Yeah. Or with an eye patch.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, just the conceit of that game, there is a possibility, and I feel like it's lazy, yes, but also
Very.
it would explain why you would see somebody that looks like you.
Yeah, because it's
Because there ain't but so many ways you can make the person. So it's like,
and
so
yeah,
it's a
and
Spider-Man me.
yeah, and it's just like so, and it's just so like that's the only thing that I knock at from it because A, it doesn't have a good amount of hairs in it, and B, it's like all preset faces, and it's not like I could take okay, I was thinking like, oh, I could take a preset and then I can kind of add some extra jowls and add some cheekbones or add some dimples and then kind of make that face, tweak that face a little bit more to my own. No, it's like pick that black guy face, put these hairs on it, and then be like, all right, there you go. My guy is the guy with my guy is the guy with the shaved sides and the dreads. No, it explains East Coast merch. Listen.
So we're just all out here. Basically, you have a whole game of this.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. That's what this is.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's going on for me? I have another recruiting event, or another retro gaming event to go to on behalf of Extra Life this weekend. It is also outside, but yes, we have had those conversations. We have made a list that should hopefully be followed that will include a tent and a table and some water. But also I'll be close to a brewery and restaurant, so I can easily just go in there and find food and beverage and just cool my ass down if I need to. Mm-hmm. Also, I shouldn't be there the entire time by myself. So yeah.
Also that.
So there's that. Of course, for those who are following the Major Linux show, we wrapped up Miles Morales very quickly, like suspiciously quickly. Like, man, y'all really didn't give black folks a good story, or a nice lengthy story to have. And I forgot that the first time I played Miles Morales. Also, side note, the new trailer drop for Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
Miles' lock game is on point.
I'm gonna check that out.
And he grew up. He's got some bass in his voice now. I thought it was really weird when playing Miles Morales that he sounded like a 14-year-old kid. But Miles Morales is grown now. Anywho, this game was supposed to be a DLC, and they were like, people will pay full price. Yeah, I can see that. I could see that. They pulled a freedom cry on us.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, yes. So I finished Miles Morales way too early. So I started on the August game for Major's Lounge, which is Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. Which looks amazing on PC.
Oh, it does.
Eventually I'm going to launch it on the Steam Deck, excuse me. But I've been losing time to a game. I've been wasting time on a game called Time Wasters. It works just as advertised.
But there you go.
I want to play Final Fantasy, but I will sit down and just play more Time Wasters. Let's see what else is going on. Oh yeah, also Saturday we're going to go take Caden to go see his first movie in a theater.
Oh yeah.
So that's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. Want to see the teenage Kraken movie?
Like Ruby Gilliman, Teenage Kraken, I think it's called.
Someone, I don't know. He's seen it on his iPad, and that's all he talks about. So we're gonna go see that. This was actually, we were supposed to be taking him a few months ago, when the Mario movie came out, but things happened that fell through. So I really wanted to see that in theaters too. So we're gonna do that after I do my event, my tabling event Saturday. But outside of that, not much. Mastodon's still rocking. We got a Lemmy server up now. There's any issues with the Mastodon server for those who may be using it, hey, let me know. Earlier this week, I switched a lot of the caching stuff over to AWS. So far, things seem to still be working, but if anything breaks, please let me know so I can go investigate. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Gaming, streaming, movies, tabling, chilling, waiting to hear back about a job. The kid said got to claim it, so I'll
Claim it, Major.
and do it.
There you
Claim
go.
it. Claim me finna work for that glorious haired man.
And I'm gonna bring my own glorious hair.
There you go.
Hopefully that works out in my favor. Hopefully my main will work in my favor. So look, please hire me so I can at least get this fixed. It's high. It's high. It's really high. I need to get it fixed. But yeah, that's all we got. That's it. It's a wrap. So we get out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Tech Talk Thursdays for July 20th, 2023. Of course, this is your main source for bringing tech nugs to the melanated folks from melanated folks. You know the deals. You know the fucking vibes, man. We out here. We doing a damn thing. We unpacking it all. On behalf of Kevin Kev, on behalf of Cinziac, it's been your boy Marcus Summers, Major Linux, twitch.tv/Major Linux, aka the Grandmaster of IT, aka your favorite streamer's favorite IT guy. Kev, am I your favorite IT guy?
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Sin,
you
am I
are.
your favorite IT guy?
Of course, preeminently even.
Yay. So thank you so
And
much.
because Major's our favorite, this is where I tell y'all to go to wherever Major support can be found and be like, hey, I have $3 in my pocket and I would like you to have them so that you can do the
Majorshouse.com.
cool stuff that you do.
Yes, majorshouse.com/contacts where you can find all my contact information, where you can find me. Of course, you know, there's always Discord. You'll see the Mastodon Matrix links and email on the site if you would like to reach out and get some stuff done. Really could use the help. Again, want to say thank you to all the support for all the support that people have been bringing in lately. I think I mentioned this during a regular stream. It's been helpful so much. I mentioned before, like I've gotten paid more from Twitch in the past couple of months than I've ever been paid in probably like the past 3 years prior. So thank you so much for your support. Really do appreciate it. It's been helpful during this time. Of course, you can help me at other places: Patreon, Ko-fi, PayPal. Here, doesn't matter. I'm not picky. But of course, Sin will say go to Ko-fi.
Because
he gets more money when you do it.
So
Show Tell does.
I feel weird saying that. So
That's
let's go to
what
Taco
we're
Man.
here.
How you doing? But yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you so much for your help. Really do appreciate it. Of course, you all could have been anywhere in the world watching any stream in the world. You could have been reading the tech, gaming, and streaming nugs yourself. But you said no. We're here for Court TV. We're here to litigate all of the FTC. And for that, I said thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to me being a lawyer on TV. And all I've got left to say to you wonderful people out there is I love you and peace. Ow. Now let's go pester Anka.
Hold on. Yep. Wakanda forever.
Oh my God. Why did I bring it back for that?